Banner.
What aspect of your career do you love the most? If you could pick one, and I hate this question, that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, it's a hard one because they're all like my children. So I don't want to say like mommy loves you more than you. But I will say this: the work that I do with teenage girls is probably the most fulfilling for me. And actually, that the Monopoly analogy from my speech comes from that's how I teach economics. I work with an organization called Girls Who Brunch Tour, and that's how I teach teenage girls economics is we play Monopoly. Mm-hmm. And so I go through the importance of, building like real estate and things that appreciate and value. And so I've always used Monopoly. So that's why that was even that, I never had framed it the way that I did in the video before, but that's why it was in the back of my mind. So working with the girls is definitely my favorite thing.
Okay. Up to this point, what has been your crowning moment? Like, there's certain things that have happened in my career that were just like placeholders, like I did that shit.
Yeah.
Like, what was that moment in your life?
That moment for me was getting nominated for the Image Award because I had been saying, I remember when the whole like Oscars so white hashtag was going around, and I was like, but yet you're still begging for masters' love, approval, and attention, and you're still focused on the white gaze. So I started saying consistently, the only thing I'm worried about getting in my life is an Image Award. That's us representing us, delivering a gift to us. So that's the one that I want. So I was like, y'all can get all excited about the Oscars, the Emmys, the whatever. Y'all can take that same energy and we can put that same energy towards the Image Awards and show up for them and be present and be excited and stand up there and bubble cry. You get up at the Oscars and bubble cry. You get up at the Image Awards and act like it's an inconvenience.
And start shooting.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, so I said to myself, that's the only award that I care about. Now, I still didn't win, but I was happy to be nominated.
Yo, funk ass bitches.
Right. Old funky hoe. But
I can't with you, Kim.
Trick ass, buster ass, mork ass. Ew!
But I appreciate y'all Image Awards for the nomination.
You are so hilarious. Tell us about your son and how it is raising a young black
that kid, Drake Edward Williams. So my son, I am blessed that me and my son's father co-parent very well together. We've actually considered even writing a book about how we co-parent together because that's my buddy. Like, that's my homie. I hold him down. So, my son has been blessed to have his father not be like a weekend dad, but be like a real invested, coach in the Little League, that kind of dad. And I think that made a difference. And I think that him seeing me trusting his father's leadership and his manhood makes all the difference in the world. And I think a lot of times, we... When we discuss the terms of feminism is that, we all have to be this way, and that's representative feminism. Feminism is the choice to live your life in the way in which you choose. And the way in which I choose to live my life in terms of being a co-parent is allowing that masculine energy to lead and guide that masculine energy, and knowing that I was smart enough to pick someone that I can trust with that. You know what I mean? And so it's made all the difference in the world. And my son is genius level smart. My son is 14. When he was 9 years old, he hacked the Atlanta public school system with ease. And he didn't get caught until he was 11. He had been doing it for 2 years before they even figured it out. And they only figured it out because this little boy at his school was a snitch.
Snitch ass, buster ass Mark. Yeah! Yeah! Corey! Started dumping all the things on my
both of you
over
two.
here!
I can't.
My Corey! Hey, it's funny that you said that. I said this. I said,
I wish I had my button.
We couldn't, which was, Scott. She said she wished she had a button.
Because what she said is that's so real. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
There you go.
She trusted him to lead. Can more of us do that, please?
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say.
But he's also smart, so let us be clear. Nobody following no fool.
No, that's
No, but I was going to say, I had it saying that we couldn't pick our parents, but I can pick my children's parents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we have to be more conscious and cognizant of who we around. Like, one of the things I fear is giving my son or daughter a crazy ass mother.
Mm-hmm. You should fear that.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious, and so I that's something that I take pride in, and I also don't want to leave, because I don't think most men look at it this way, but I don't want to leave me in a dark place. And when I say dark, I don't mean the color of. I mean just in a place where they have to suffer because of a 15, 30. In some cases, 4 hour
dream.
Wow, Regina!
Yeah, see?
Wow. But let me tell you, whether it's a dream or not, I still wake up wet.
Oh my God.
Shit everywhere.
That could be from multiple things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Oh, boy.
Got high blood pressure
Yeah,
too.
some shit, Scott. Know what I'm saying?
Night sweat. Night sweat.
OMG.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't with this crew.
So let's speak on this. At what point did you guys realize that, you know, we're gonna have to change a few things, even if that was the case, to make sure that we were gonna create an environment that was the best for you all's son?
When he was about 2 years old, we had like about a 3-week period where we were just at each other consistently, right? And I started to realize that like I wasn't answering the phone because I didn't really want to be bothered. But then that means that I'm not answering the phone for him to talk to his kid or say that he's on his way and that kind of thing. And I was like, this is just not what I want for my son. Like, I was blessed that, like, my biological father wasn't really in my life, but my mother started dating my stepdad when I was 4, and my stepdad, like, stepped up and really was an amazing father to me, and I've always felt that was very special because he chose to be my dad. You know what I mean? So that was a different feeling. So I understood the beauty of having a father in your life because I was blessed with that. And so I wanted to make sure that my son had that. I understood the importance of that. And I understood, like, realistically, no shade, that as a female, there was going to be so much about his journey, particularly his journey as a Black man, that I wasn't going to understand, that I wasn't going to have the right language, the informed lived experience in order to help him out with that. And so I wanted to make sure that we got past all of the water under the bridge with us. And so we actually went to co-parenting therapy. We went to therapy for almost a year to learn how to co-parent. So with anything in life, if you want it to be successful, you have to be intentional. You know, a lot of people, I definitely believe in living an organic life, but an organic life also needs nurturing and guidance to grow in the way that it's supposed to.
That's amazing.
Damn, what was your grades like in school?
Bad, because I had an ADHD, and they don't know how to teach me like that, because that just means my brain works differently.
Damn, you were talking that shit, boy.
Talking that talk.
And the reason why I asked you that too is because I was very similar. I tested, like, I was a genius. I was a genius.
I was a good tester, but just like couldn't focus on the work.
Yeah, I'm like in the 3rd grade. Regina, I always fucked this up, so help me. I was reading on the junior and college level in the 3rd grade. I said it right that time, right?
You did.
Yeah, because you was like, I was a junior reading on the 3rd grade level. Like, yo, that
I
ain't
just
what you
think I
did.
didn't get into smart.
Should just not be public information.
Right.
Yeah, right. So what's next for you? If you could look now and say that, you know, if I was actually at the end of my life and I could look back and I would have accomplished everything, if you could do all of that, what would it be?
Well, first of all, I would make sure that the textbooks got changed in schools. I would make sure that the caste system of education, meaning that we fund schools based on property tax, that would be eliminated. I would make sure that Black people had reparations. I would have a case of NAACP Image Awards. I have 12 published novels, an uncountable amount of films and TV shows, and left this earth having touched people and left a good space for people to live on in.
Oh, that was cool.
That's awesome. I think that was pretty cool. Scott, you got anything for us?
Yeah, you had a viral project called How Can We Win?
Scott, you late.
Could you really quickly give us your answer to that question?
Ooh.
How can we win? I can tell you how we can win. Here's how we can win. They tell poor people to vote and then rich people lobby. We have to start forming actual lobbying pacts and not being leaning so much on voting. And I'm not telling people not to vote, but what I'm saying is we have to form substantial lobbying pacts to get our vested interests done. Unless we all gonna pack up and leave, we still all have to be here and have to be governed by this government. So we can't sit out as an answer to it, because whether we participate or not, we're gonna be governed by them. But voting is not going to be enough. We have to actually, because 19 Keys, I love 19 Keys. He always says that poor people vote and rich people lobby. And so we have to form like substantial lobbying packs that's actually going to have our vested interest, and then we can't care about the rest of it. We have to be working towards, the black standard, the black agenda. I think the other thing is we are owed reparations. I mean, if they want me to get up and give a PowerPoint on why, I'm happy to do that and show the systemic racism that has kept us from having generational wealth. But those are the things we're going to have to focus on, and we're going to have to become insular. We're going to have to be more caring and concerned about working with each other, amongst each other, and for each other.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I always say, that most black people don't like being black.
So and it's so lit. It's dangerous, but it's lit.
Right. That's one of the problems. You have to want to stay around people. You have to want to spend with people.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you
I'm like riding around fearing for my life.
If you don't,
this shit is hot.
Hey, what our boy said that shot the movie?
Never know what's gonna happen.
What's the dude that does all the black horror movies?
Oh, Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele said some dope shit. He said, I never write horror movies. I just write the experiences of black people. That's horror within itself.
Yeah.
You know? And the problem is that I do this when I speak. I tell everybody to close their eyes. And I ask them, how do they feel about black people? And I said, you can't lie to God. When you close your eyes, God is inward. So however that first thought is the real truth. And then I ask people, as long as they don't have on like Unks and Black Power Fish shirts on, because I know what they're going to say.
Right.
I ask everyday ordinary people, and 9 times out of 10, what do they usually say? Stuff like what?
They don't trust them, fearful, all types of stuff like that.
So if you're getting action words like that, then if you're fearful of them, then you're not going to support them. If you're fearful of them, you're not going to live next to them. If you're disappointed in them, you're not going to support. So there's a certain amount of things that we have to change inwardly before we can actually change the environment on the outside. I love myself. I love my people with every fucking ounce of everything I have in me. And I even understand why we hate each other the way that we do, because I study. Africans didn't come off the boat acting like that.
No, not
There
at
were
all.
3 generations of situations that are worse than our worst day that we've ever lived in our life. I think about the middle generation of slaves. That was perpetually every moment of their life.
Right.
They didn't even have remembering Africa like the first generation.
Right.
And then they didn't have whispers of freedom like the 3rd generation. That middle generation of slaves,
That was it.
they came out and went back in with pain. And you don't think...
We passed that down.
Huh? Yeah.
We passed that down.
Yes, we do.
We have ancestral trauma, which again is why on September 20th, you should join me and Queen Yanajaha for the healing session with me and her and Shar Banks. You can follow us on Instagram and you can see all about it.
Okay.
I'm shameless with my plug.
No, you need to continue to plug. You need to continue. Hold on, you want to know what? Hold on, we're going to do better than that, all right? Go. Do that again.
And tell us where.
You guys, we are not disclosing the location until you register, but if you follow me, Queen Yanajaha, or Shar Banks, you can come on down to our healing sessions, which are going to be monthly because we have some ancestral trauma that we need to deal with, so we can go ahead and get this shmoney. Thank you.
So just for that one lucky person that we will put your name in the hat and draw, I may actually show up and take off my shirt and show you God.
We're here for it.
Wait, keep the camera
I told
here.
you that's what happened when you start wearing seersucker shirts and shit.
I
And
wanted
cute
to
hats,
go too.
huh? And cute hat.
The hat player, the shirt seersucker though.
It ain't a cute hat. That's a player hat. Did I give you your check yet?
Yup.
Oh,
Got it.
Let me borrow it.
You already got all my card information. Regina gonna be I gotta put that limit on my card. Regina got them 16, 9
Don't
digits,
worry about
however
it. I
many on the
got
card.
Let me ask you.
She ain't got that CVN on the back though, whatever, the 3 digits on the back. Damn.
Oh, I do.
Damn.
There's some stuff you won't need that for. Don't worry about it.
What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I mean, I'm like a big kid. I know people think I'm like all super serious all the time. I'm so not. I'm totally like a big kid. So I go to my good friend's Brandy house and drink all of her wine because that's more entertaining to me. And then also...
And more economical.
Right, it's more economical. It's Black economics. So I really love water. So anytime I can like get to the beach or get by a creek or connect at all with the water, I'm super, super duper happy. And I'm a collector. So I have a ball like collecting things. Like I have all of the Yo MTV Raps trading cards. I have all of them. Right? Yeah, I have like a first edition, first printing signed copy of Tar Baby. So like, I ain't know Eric Majet, the keeper of the jewels. I ain't got all the stuff he got. But I definitely love collecting. I'm always hunting. Like I have a wanted poster for Angela Davis. Like I love stuff like that.
What is your favorite thing to collect?
My favorite thing to collect is first edition copies of books.
Oh,
signed
like
first editions.
Mr. Banner here.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm hunting. If anybody got one, I'm hunting Man Child in the Promised Land by Claude Brown.
Yeah. That was a good one.
There was one left, and Jason Reynolds, brilliant writer, stole it and purchased it already.
She low-key be capping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like Jason Reynolds. And,
Jason is my nemesis. He knows it, too. Because they always compare our books. Because my book, I'm Not Dying With You Tonight, is about two girls, one black and one white, who survived the night and race riots. And you get to see both of their perspective. And then his book, All American Boys, is about a black and a white character. And that the white character was the one holding the cell phone during the police brutality. So they always like contrast us against each other. So I just like to give Jason a hard time. Okay.
So if you had to choose, I ain't gonna do that. Yeah. Hey, who growing up, who did you look up to?
My mother.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, my mom is super dope. So my mother graduated from high school. She integrated her high school, and then she graduated 2 years early because she was so smart. And then she went off to college, and she met this like wildly beautiful man, and ended up getting pregnant. Had to drop out of college, and she got a job. She went on a job interview. Okay, I'm gonna just tell y'all this little real piece because it's dope. She went on a job interview, and one day she had 2 job interviews. One was to be Hugh Hefner's assistant because that's when Playboy Mansion was still in Chicago, and the other was to work in the mailroom at Sears Tower. And at the time, Sears was such a juggernaut, and my grandmother being a minister, my grandmother was like, you ain't going to work for Hugh Hefner. She went and took the job working for Sears.
Oh, Grandma! Grandma! We was so close! We would have been in the, what's that, what they call that shit, the grotto?
The grotto.
She was over here talking about collecting. I'd have been a bun collector over that.
Yep. But it was where she was meant to be. We're always where we meant to be because what she ended up accomplishing is my mother programmed robots that delivered the mail in the Sears Tower.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
So,
we don't know what she could have got like.
Should have
It could have like took little people and just delivered them to me like with drones. Like thanks, Mom. Thanks.
I can't.
She could have put together a robot to deliver the buns.
I can see it.
You can just see it. I see that.
Damn, Mom. We proud of you, though, Mom.
But
how does she feel about what's going on now?
My mother is very radical, so a lot of my rhetoric, you know what I'm saying, I get from her because she's just like...
Mama be like, that shit ain't hard enough.
Right. She is like, my mama is not with the shits. And she was an activist in her own right for many, many years. Once she left Sears, she took on what her real passion was working with kids. And she was an advocate a lot of times on, fighting against the foster care system and things like that. So my mama is, she's a follower of Malcolm. She like, don't nobody respond when you being nice. You gotta punch people in the face to get a reaction.
Okay. Go ahead, Mama.
That's definitely a truth.
Okay. Tommy Nova.
Over there.
You got a question, Tommy Nova? Okay. Just making sure.
It's too cool.
That's my sister.
How was the experience working with A-Ball and MJG?
It was like heaven. It was like that literally was a dream come true. You gotta keep in mind, okay, so I'm the baby of 7 kids. I got one sister that's 6 years older than me. So when that first album dropped, my sister was in college and I was in middle school and all I wanted to do was be her. Whatever she was doing, whatever she thought was cool. And my sister loves hip hop, but my sister loves 8-Ball and MJG. So when I thought I was cool riding around in my sister's Chevette with her kicking it, like that was our soundtrack. That's what we were listening to. That was our thing. And so it's like those albums from them not only have like, you know what I'm saying, they're just like dope as hell, but it's also just like, it's that you remember that connection in those moments, and it reminds me of my connection with my sister. So then to get the opportunity to work on their life story and spend so much time with them, like digging into who they are and what sculpted them, and that they trusted me with that story, it's 8-Ball and MJG. It's 8-Ball and MJG.
So go ahead, Lee.
I already did it. I'm done for the day.
One more time. Come on, one more time. Please. Just a little bit.
I didn't even realize that when I was saying. I just was saying because I always be listening to that song.
Yeah.
What, just want a little bit?
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Yeah.
It take a nigga that's hard from the start. You gotta have hard to meet a bitch, back it down, different from apart.
I love it.
Yeah. Something fucking wrong with me.
It is.
Huh?
And shout out MJ.
I love it, though.
MJG's birthday was this past Sunday, so happy birthday to MJG.
Happy
Jana,
birthday. Huh?
I love you.
I love you too.
Give us a positive question. Like you always have
My
positive
questions aren't
questions.
positive?
No, they are.
Oh, I wanted to find out about the
Hold on.
Library of Congress.
Hold on.
How did you get on that?
What the fuck is that? Hold on 1 second. What was that?
Sound like somebody getting nailed to the
That's funny. Wow, that's the first time that's ever. No, that's not happening.
Came up with Tommy.
Somebody's getting. Can I say it?
No.
Somebody's getting fucked upstairs. Beat it. Beat it.
But not in the way he's talking about.
Hey,
like,
it'd be
get
funny
out.
because it probably come out the ceiling.
Don't say that. I can't.
Gotta come out hard. Come in and out hard.
With a gangster lean.
Oh! I'm sorry. Library of Congress.
I was asking how does one get on the committee for the Library of Congress? Tell us about it.
That was super cool because I was on the selection committee. So there's only 6 people on the selection committee. So it's whoever the current ambassador of children's literature is on the committee, and then they choose 5 other people nationwide to be on that committee. And my committee we picked the first Asian American ambassador, Gene Yang, who he's super dope. And the thing about it is it took us months to deliberate to determine who was going to have that position, because the ambassador of children's literature, not only are they responsible for making sure that they, work on nurturing the love of reading, but they actually have to have a platform, almost like a literary presidency, and that they have to have a platform of what they're going to do to better the nurturing of love of reading in children. And then they go on like a 2-year-long tour, speaking about that, really being an ambassador and a diplomat around the country, getting kids excited about reading and making sure that all kids have access to books. So yeah, we deliberated for months to pick the person, but Gene turned out being an amazing ambassador. He was awesome.
That's really dope.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why I created this show was because as an activist, sometimes people put us in these boxes.
Yeah.
And I started noticing that all my DMs, all my mail was a murder. And our people dying. And I said I wanted to create a place where all of us could have a great time. And in between having a great time, that we could put our messages in here. You know what I'm saying? And because when I made the podcast, people was like, oh shit, it's gonna be like fire coming out of there, and then there's gonna be the black fish just coming out of the fucking sky, right? and I realized that the God-given right of us as the descendants of higher beings is that we are what we say we are. Mm-hmm. So if all we talk about is pain, that's the only thing that's gonna come to us.
Right.
And I said I wanted to create a place where, like, once everybody became super conscious, we became super ratchet. When everybody's super ratchet, then we super conscious. And I just always want you to know that you have a place since now you are alumni. You got a place where you can always come.
And be ratchet?
No, not be ratchet, but just be
whoever
whoever
the
fuck you want to be.
Of it all.
What the dude said, I want to do ratchet things with my friends.
Yes, I wanted to do hood rat shit.
Yeah,
All I wanted to do this summer was do hood rat shit with my ratchet ass friends And instead,
And smoke with cigarettes.
Right. Right. And borrow $2 from cousins. That's all I wanted this summer. And y'all just had to keep being torturous towards black people.
Oh shit! I want to do hood rat shit with my friends.
Man,
That's all
I had
wanna
my
do.
Hood Rat Summer Line Up playlist ready.
Oh shit, that's funny. So now, what's your getaway thing when shit becomes too hard? What's your escape?
This so nerdy, but books.
Really? That's not nerdy. That's cool.
Yeah. I love reading. Right now I just got an advanced copy of Yusef Salam's new book, Punch in the Air.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been reading that and it is amazing. He wrote it with Ibi Zoboi, who's also a dope writer. But yeah, it's like absolutely amazing. But yeah, I love to read. And like when you read, it sounds corny, but you get to escape. You get to live in someone else's head, walk around in someone else's head for a little while, and it's nice.
What was one of the? Tell me one of the experiences that you had, like where somebody that you really, really respected your work. Have you had that moment yet?
Yeah, I talked to Merle Evers the other day, and that was crazy. And it was.
And for those who don't know, explain.
Oh, Merle Evers is the widow of Medgar Evers. But she started, and it's like one of those griot moments where she started telling us this story about how her, Betty Shabazz, and Coretta Scott King were best friends. And people used to call them the three widows behind their back when they would show up places.
Wow.
But she was just, she was just laying out all this information. She was telling me how sexist the original March on Washington was. Like, it was like she just completely poured into us and was giving us all this information. But she had this conversation with us in a way that was really like kind of like a passing of the baton and was like, I'm proud of y'all. I'm happy to see what y'all doing. I'm happy to see y'all voices being uplifted and pushed towards the front. So that was absolutely amazing. Like I was so overwhelmed just talking to her. I just felt so blessed to even have a conversation with her.
Yeah, I was just with his family. There's a mural that went up in Jackson, Mississippi, and us two were on it. And it was sort of hard too because I was the only one that was still alive on the mural.
Wow.
So that meant a lot to us. Tommy, could you give us some background of that situation? Let me tell you one of the things that I love about today, and I'm so proud that you are this way, is that we can still show that we're human.
Right.
I think a lot of times they make caricatures of us to make our children feel like it's not obtainable. Mm-hmm. And I think they need to know our mistakes. They need to know that we're still human beings. They need to know that we still stumble and that we love the bullshit too. Every year I try to do something to show people that I'm not perfect because the more meditative I become, the more red I become, the further I am from what people consider to be normal. And I believe in order for people to know that they can get in the places that we are, they need to see that we are a whole person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And the fact that, because I was actually watching out of the side of my eye, the fact that I was talking about Pornhub and I was going there in my mind, you was like, oh, that's cool. You're pretty imaginative. Like, I like you. Yeah. But seriously, I talked to them about me maybe doing the Medgar Evers movie. And maybe that's something that we can connect on. You know what I'm saying?
I'm down.
Because even his story and, him actually infiltrating some of these cities, instead of standing behind a podium and talking about it, he really went in those communities. And when you were talking about curriculum early, that's what hurts my feelings. Like, I was from Mississippi. We were riding up and down Medgar Evers, smoking and drinking and fighting. And I didn't know who he was until I left Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? And that's
crazy.
That's not good. And they make sure that we know about the peaceful aspect of Martin Luther King, and they make sure we know who the Klan are. They make sure they shove their leaders down our throats every day. And I now have realized it's not their responsibility. Marcus Garvey said that, I'm paraphrasing, that white racism isn't the problem. The lack of black racism is the real problem. We are not racist when it comes to ourselves. We don't hold ourselves up the same way that they do. Or better, when we actually have more empirical data on our sides that show that we're the closest thing to God.
Right.
So I want you to know that I appreciate you and that I am proud of you. Is there anything that you want to say in closing? Anything else you want to sell Like, one thing I can say is that our fans buy the shit and support the people who are on here. So sell that shit, girl.
Yes, you can get all of my wares at www.kimjoneswrites.com. That's kimjoneswrites.com. You can find my books. You can find all of my merch, like T-shirts and all that stuff, mask. All of that is on my website. So yeah, they can definitely go there and get whatever they need. And if it's anything that I just want to leave people with, it's like the most revolutionary thing we could do right now is self-improvement. So work on that.
All right, y'all, this is the David Banner. It's a fucking David Banner. I'm sorry. I just like to apologize.
I'm here for it. I got 4 brothers. You think I'm
Tommy. And go to davidbanner.com, and we got all the new stuff up on there, so go check that out and make sure y'all get that.
But David got more money than me, so go buy my stuff first.
Yeah. Please do. I do have a lot.
But I don't know if I do, so.
I can't lie to you. I got a lot of bread. I got a lot of tax problems, too. Hey, listen. Pay your taxes.
No, thank you.
All right. Hey, remember I told her. Listen, I did not fuck the government, fuck the motherfucking crack. I'm telling you, the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my life, I've been around shootings, I've been around death, gang banging, dope dealing, was the day that I was driving a Bentley and I went to the money machine to get my money. And it's happened in LA. I had a full staff, everything. And they said, something was wrong. You need to go in the bank. So I went in the bank and it was like, Mr. Banner, we need to talk to you. It's like the government took every dime that you had. So they let me use their phones. I called the federal government and the lady said, sorry, Mr. Banner, we were not supposed to take your money, but you owed the government, so we're going to keep it. So I'm running a full company with staff. I'm just going to be real with you. I just happened to be dating a girl at the time that had it. And she was overseas and she sent me the bread until I could pay her back the next month. And
hey, I never got my check that week.
Oh, Scott, you want to know what's funny? You was with me. You remember that shit? That shit was scary.
I know exactly what you're talking
Scott
about.
was with me during that time. And it's like...
That's what I'm saying. I didn't get paid. I need hazard pay.
He said he needs hazard pay.
I went through... You remember that fire I went through?
Yeah, I do.
Come on, man.
We've been through some shit. But what I'm saying is, man, is that's the way that they get the revolutionaries and they get those of us through taxes and little small hoops in the game.
That's how they got Al Capone.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was waiting for Lee to come in and say that. But like, I'm serious, though. It's like I have never experienced it, so I make sure that I'm on my shit. And the other thing that I'll tell you is keep cash money somewhere. Like, I keep enough that if the government comes after me, like, I'm going to be real with you. The real reason, the last straw that made me create this podcast is when they forced the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan off of all social media platforms. I realized that if they did that to him, then what the fuck you think they'll do to us?
They'd come for any of us.
So I started finding ways to pull my fans and my people, because they don't even give us full access to the people that we help create. Think about this. Most of the things that we are into now, all they are shells. Like, Instagram don't have no fucking photos. They don't give you no photos. It's all our shit. Facebook is all of our friends and all of our photos, and then they don't even let you have access to the people that you've helped bring to their platform. Like, we getting duped. These motherfucking Airbnb don't own no fucking houses. All these shit, even the new video games, they create these fucking boxes and let people go in there and kill each other. They don't even have stories no more for the most part with the video games. Shout out to Derek Grace, who's making his own video game.
I saw that. Yeah, that's gonna
really
be dope.
And he has a very special character on there that y'all see that's very buff. Looking really good, thanks to my homeboy. But seriously though, I'm proud of you. And we never know who we are, like, on the movies. Like, we don't know who we're going to be. And I don't think Malcolm knew he was Malcolm. I don't think Bob Marley knew he was Bob Marley. I don't think Coretta knew she was Coretta. I think sometimes, living in our own skin, that we don't know who we are. And I'm happy to have lived this moment and to have existed during the same time as you. And for us to be humble enough to be able to listen to those voices to say that we need to be together and see each other and become a village. And we got to start looking out for each other. Derek Gray said we must be more intentional. Like every time I release anything, this dude spends at least $2,000 every time I do anything, and I try to be reciprocal. And just know that the David Banner Podcast is a place that you can always come to and tell your side of the story.
I appreciate that. It's an honor to be here with you. You know, you a legend, so.
I appreciate it, man.
So, give you your flowers now.
Thank you. Give me my flowers now. And in closing, we would like to say, fuck. Fuck. Who else did we say fuck, Scott? It was one more.
Is this just a random?
There was one more cracker. What's the motherfucker that used to be on? He's still living.
Oh,
That
Fuck
was not
him.
one of them.
yes, he is. He
He
hates
is
black
now.
folks.
He is now.
Fuck you and your fucking mustache. Is there any cracker that you want to say?
Then why you smiling? Look, you know she
Did I
said
wanna
it. That's
say
why she
fuck?
looking like that.
Yeah, fuck Elvis. Fuck him. Because his family still owes money to Big Mama Thornton for Hound Dog. Hound Dog don't even sound like a song that a man should be singing. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. That's how a woman talk about a man. Cause it was Big Mama Thornton and she died broke. So Elvis's estate, y'all need to find Big Mama Thornton's kids and y'all crackers need to give her money.
Suck a dick, cracker. See, when I say that kind of shit, Regina be all over me.
All I'm saying is I was trying to answer the same call you had.
What? But you know I'm gonna be bad, Regina. I don't know what else to do. I just don't know what else to do.
I'm sure you
All right, this is the David Banner Podcast. We'd like to thank you all for coming out. Tommy Nova says, suck a dick. If you don't like it, go to davebanner.com, buy something. Shout out to A-Ball and MJG. Shout out to all the revolutionaries in the world. And if you don't like Regina, you kiss her ass too. Regina!
You is insane.
And my seersucker shirt.